Here now, Fox News contributor Andy McCarthy, the Wall Street Journal's Kimberly Strassel, Fox News contributor Sarah Carter, all three more deserving than the Washington Post and New York Times for their hoax Pulitzer. We'll call it the hoax Pulitzer. Andy, let me start with you. You have a 2-page article out today that was fascinating. You talk about the spying, but on top of the spying, we had the FISA abuse. On top of the FISA abuse, we also had a rigged investigation into Hillary because she did commit real crimes.
Yeah, Sean, I think, as Attorney General Barr put it last week, the question of spying should not be a question anymore. There's no question, there should be no dispute that surveillance happened, whatever you want to call it. The issue is, was it properly predicated? And I think what we're seeing now is there seems to have been an insufficient predicate. And all I can say is, from my own perspective, if I had authorized an investigation of the president, if I had used the government's counterintelligence powers in order to investigate the campaign of the opposition party, and people were calling me out about whether I had a good reason for it, I wouldn't be able to wait to tell you what it was. So I think it's very telling that, rather than invite an inquiry into what caused this investigation to take place in the first place, what they're doing is attacking the people who simply want answers to simple questions. How did this get originated? What was the reason for it?
Great questions. Sarah, let me go to your breaking news tonight. And I now have a copy of the letter of which you refer, and that is Elijah Cummings got a letter from Congressman Jim Jordan as he, Maxine Waters, and Cowardly Schiff, Adam Schiff, apparently were sending out secret memorandum of understanding about how to get Trump the next level. So even though Thursday ends collusion, ends obstruction, in all reality and truth, and begins everything we've talked about for 2 years, now they want to go to the next conspiracy theory. Why apologize for the old one?
Well, it's really incredible, Sean. I mean, Congressman Jordan, who's the ranking member on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee, actually discovered this within recent days, that Adam Schiff, as well, Maxine Waters, and Elijah Cummings, and Elijah Cummings, who's the chairman of the committee, basically withheld this from the ranking member, and that's against the committee rules. So they basically signed these memorandums of understanding in secrecy. So it's kind of like a pact between all of them to basically go after and target President Trump. One of the things that they wanted was Mazar USA LLP, which was Trump's former accounting firm while he was in the private sector. And they want all the documentation, all financial records going back to 2009. I mean, this is really incredible. And they're going to have a huge fight on their hands because, once again, the investigation, Robert Mueller's investigation, has been wrapped up. They found no conspiracy, no collusion with Russia. We have seen it on the other side. And as far as obstruction, there were no obstruction charges whatsoever. So now they're looking for something else. They're digging deeper, but they have a huge fight on their hands. I know Congressman Jordan, Congressman Meadows, and others are very angry about this, and I don't think they're going to get any of that documentation anytime soon.
Kimberly, after Thursday, this is all they got. We already have, I read the quote from the Mueller report that Barr released, no collusion, no conspiracy to collude with Russia. But, and we'll watch the predictable freak out by the same people that have been wrong for over 2.5 years, lying to the American people. But on the other side of this story, we do have a rigged investigation into Hillary Clinton where real crimes were committed, real felonies underlying the intent to obstruct justice by deleting and acid washing hard drives. Then we've got 53 that we know of closed-door interviews that'll come out. Then we have, let's see, criminal referrals by Nunes. Then we got the Horowitz report, the Uber report. Then we'll eventually get the FISA applications, which is the bulk of which was based on the Hillary bought and paid for Russian lies. Then we'll get 302s and Gang of Eight information. This really is just starting, except this time there's real evidence, not hype.
Right. Yeah, well, listen, this is all they got, but I still think everyone should be very honest and brace themselves for what is going to happen on Thursday when the Mueller report comes out. We know the top-line conclusions, and it's understood that there is no evidence of collusion. But don't forget that the information that Bob Mueller was given by the FBI included a lot of dirt that hasn't been out yet. Remember, we know that Bruce Orr, he was having other conversations with Christopher Steele with Fusion GPS. He was passing this along to the FBI. And these are probably things that Mueller looked at as well. Democrats are going to comb through this report, and they're going to throw all that out there. And it's not going to matter that Mueller found that there was no evidence. I just think everybody needs to be aware that that is coming, because that's how it's going to get spun.
But Andy, quickly on your legal side, if there's no underlying crime, as Barr said in his letter, and then you can't have an intent to obstruct. And we all know that when Trump said, "I hate Mueller," or "we should fire Mueller," or "we should fire Rosenstein," he didn't do any of those things, did he? He didn't obstruct.
No, he didn't, Sean. But I think Kim's right. We're going to get 400 pages of almost collusion, almost obstruction.
Exactly.
And it's going to be like the indictments we saw. You flip to the last page and there's nothing.
And then it all dies. All of it. They just don't know that their lies are dead already. All right. Thank you all. Great work on all your parts.